I do have to thank Creedmoor Sports for sending me the long range and super long range. They sent me a couple boxes and said, hey, we just got this in. Could you go out and shoot it? And they did say, we understand this is not lot tested to your particular rifle or barrel. We understand that the groups do not necessarily indicate its optimal usage in a gun that is perfectly tuned for it. That's fine. Just tell us what you think, do some velocity tests, compare it to what you shoot, and let's see what happens. So we're going to have some fun with it. I've got my SK rifle match here, super long range and long range. I've got my chronograph set up over there. And for those that haven't seen my setup before, this is a Rimex Action with a Schillen ratchet barrel that was custom reamed with a Lapua chamber in it. I'm using, this is a custom stock from Dima Rifle Works, and I've been really happy with it. I actually shoot PRS with it as well, and again, it's not my serious discipline, so I enjoy doing double duty with it, and that's just the way it goes. So we're going to shoot the SK rifle match first. I do have my trigger cam set up here, and let's just shoot 10 rounds of rifle match for fun and take some velocities, and then we'll shoot a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then we're going to go out to 200 yards because I do have a 200-yard match coming up. So we've got this ready to go. Let's do our 10 rounds of rifle match. We'll see what the velocity average is and compare to there. There's about, I don't know if I said it earlier, there's about a 5-mile-an-hour wind. It's coming from, it's kind of a headwind. It's switching from about headwind to 1 o'clock. So I'll get moved a little. It is what it is. At least it's easy testing. I did clean this before we got here. I shot maybe 20 rounds, so I'm hoping I fouled it in enough, but I might shoot another magazine worth here in a second. Yeah, no, it's definitely blowing a little bit. Let's try another 10 and then we'll go to the Lapua. I'm actually pretty excited this showed up because the kind of club fun bench rest match that I do, it's not a serious or registered match in any way, but normally it's like 50 and 100 or 50 and 200 or 100 and 200. Finally convinced them to do a double 200, and we'll have that video coming up after I shoot it. All right, let's see what we can do here now. Yeah, it's shooting much better. Apparently did not foul it enough. Now the upside is that SK and Lapua do use the same lubes. So it's not like switching between Ely and Lapua. So I should be able to go straight to these without seeing too much problem. So, all right, so that was kind of a blow off. Obviously, it wasn't broke in. That one there, I'm happy with that. And so now we're going to come down a little bit, and let's try the regular long range. And I'm just going to do 5-shot groups on this because I've only got the 1 box of ammo here, and I want to be able to do some 200-yard shots. So we'll just have a little fun with this first. Hell. Let's see, 10, 20. We'll just do a 5-shot group here and see what happens. All right, so this is the long range. Again, I realize not optimal to shoot it right after the SK, but it is basically the same lube, so I shouldn't have too many problems. Oh, and we were at an average of 1,002 feet on that SK rifle match, and it's about 40 degrees out right now. So let's go ahead and start over on. Now we're gonna do a velocity check on the long range while we shoot it here. like that. Well, it definitely was faster. We're looking at 1,058. So let me do this. I'll take one more crack with 5 rounds here, just to see what happens. I'd like to be able to shoot 4 10-round groups or something like that out there at 200. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to move over and we're just going to shoot next to it here. All right, so 4 went in one hole, and then we had a flyer. So, you know, obviously my gun doesn't love this particular lot. That's fine. All right, let's go to super long range. And we're only at 50 yards here. You know, obviously it's going to show up pretty quickly. I'll go ahead and just load 10 rounds since that's what we did with the other one. You know, it would show up pretty quickly if it was gonna be amazing for this gun, but obviously this gun just isn't quite paired up with that. So let's go ahead. We're at 1,054 on those 10 rounds. So now we're on the super long range, and let's go down here and so 1,060 is my velocity after 5. Let's go ahead and move over like we did on the other one. Well, that's a pretty little group, so that's not bad. So 1,058. So surprisingly, both of these chronoed the same for me. So that's pretty interesting. So let me get reset up. We're going to go ahead and shoot off the rest of this at 200, because why not? And see what happens. So we had SK, we had long range, and then we had super long range. Obviously my second group, and I imagine if I shot a little bit more of both of these consecutively, and obviously that was kind of, even though it's the same lube, there's something a little different that needs to break in. Okay, you can see here, this is my 200 yard target, and it's actually like 207 or 208, something like that, but for all intents and purposes, it's 200. I am gonna just make sure I'm zeroed in before I go wasting any of this Lapua. So let me just take some shots here. I'm pretty good with my zero out there, but you know, don't want to waste ammo if I don't have to. All right, let's just hold over here and see where she hits, because we do have some wind. That's not bad. Let's aim here. All right, so definitely up there a little bit, and we're going to come over a little bit. Let's just do one more little test. I hate to waste shooting C's at 200 yards if I don't have to. So those rams make for really good sight-in targets. What do I got? 6 rounds? That's fine. All right. Let's aim for that. Well, I feel pretty good about that. At least that'll get me on each shoot and see. Now, obviously, I'm gonna just kind of hold single point of aim here. I'm not really going for reading wind and stuff like that. I just want to get a general idea of what's going on. So let me get 10 rounds loaded up here. And let's get this reset. So let's come up, and so upper left here is going to be our SK rifle match. All right, so there's 10 rounds. We're averaging, right in the high 990s there. So about the same. It looks like we pretty much covered that target. You can see there's one low, one there, and then the rest of them tended to group up here a little bit. So, all right. Now, again, we're going to be switching. I think what I'm going to do for the sake of doing this testing, so what do I have a total of? I got a total of 7 targets. I'm going to go ahead and do a second target with the SK, and then we'll do doubles. That way we give it a fair chance to break in. At least make sure it's consistent, because obviously there's a little bit of a change that we saw there. All right, so here's another 10 rounds. We're going to go ahead and do this one up here. We're going to try this. I've got this thing running while we go. So, again, just to recap, I'm sorry about this, guys. SK rifle match, long range but with elevation off. Then I didn't realize it was off, so it shot up here again. I recentered it, shot here, then went 10 rounds here of long range. This was super long range, and now we're going to do 2 more long range. Super long range. Yeah, and that's running, so we should be in good shape here. Put that over here. Yeah, we're still running. Now that group's pretty big, I'm not gonna lie. Let's run another one here and see what it looks like. The wind was moving a little bit more, but that's mostly vertical, so can't really put that on the wind too much. It'll affect it a little bit, but and here we go. So this is my last shoot and see that's up on here. Well, I think there's some flyers up here. Most of it's grouped in here. I mean, look, at the end of the day, the ammo clearly isn't tuned to my rifle. Speed, we're looking at 1063 on 30 rounds. This is the super long range. I'm going to go ahead and blow this other 10 rounds off, just because. Well, you know, I don't think it's going to serve any purpose, so I might as well save it for some practice on Sunday. Yeah. So we've got super there, and regular there. Well, let me turn this off. Let me go get those targets, and let's see what they look like up close. I don't think they're going to look great, but you know, it is what it is. Well, this isn't really anything spectacular, but you know, that's the SK at 50 yards. And then we have one group, and then the second group. And then obviously, I mean, it had that flyer, but I mean, that's a hell of a group right there for 4 rounds. And then over here, same thing. That was the super long range, the first 5, but then the next 5, I mean, they're tight. So, you know, barring that flyer, I'm pretty happy with that at 50, especially compared to my SK rifle match. Now I realize I think that was 10 rounds, and these are only 5, but overall they definitely show some promise. Let's let me pull up the other one real quick here. Let's take a closer look. So this was the SK rifle, and you can see that's a pretty tall group. You know, it's probably 8-inch, or well, that's an 8-inch bullseye. So, you know, 6 or 7 inches, not great. This was the second SK. That was pretty good, except for the flyer. You know, like, that's about what I would expect out of my SK rifle match. Then we moved on to the long range, and you can see the group is up here, and you know, that's much better. Whoops, sorry. That's definitely much better. So, you know, probably by at least an inch, but you know, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, 6 were tight there. It did look like I lost one here, and then 3 there. Then, but that was the first magazine. Then I was shooting here, not realizing that I was hitting up here, but that's the whole group right there. So that's not too bad, but about as tall as my SK rifle match. This was actually 10 rounds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's a much better group right there. I'm pretty happy with that. That's about a 6-inch right there. You know, again, not great for 200 yards. I mean, that's 3 minutes, but considering the ammo is not tuned for that rifle. Then we came over and we shot our first group with the super long range. Now that's much better, right? I mean, that's, you know, that's a 4-inch group maybe at the most, because we got 8 all the way across. You know, we're at the bottom of the X. So, I mean, that's a pretty darn good group right there. Then we shot this one. This one definitely opened up a little bit. We're back to, you know, it's about a 5-inch group. And then this one here definitely got taller. That's, you know, about a 7-inch group. So I don't love it. These are shots that were already on target. But, you know, I don't love it. But I do feel like in the right gun, you know, obviously if that velocity matched my barrel and stuff, I feel like it definitely wants to shoot tighter than my SK. So, you know, is it a perfectly fair shake for the long range and super long range? Probably not, you know, like, I mean, look, they haven't put out too many lots of that yet. You know, we've only had a chance to shoot what's been sent to us. But, you know, I'll probably still shoot. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and shoot the super long range at 200, or at least I'll shoot it at one target. Maybe I'll shoot something else at the second 200-yard target. But if it can shoot like this, I'll be very happy personally, you know. And I realize there's many of you out there that shoot better than that, and that's great. But, you know, for me, if I can shoot roughly a 4-inch group at 200 yards, you know, without actually getting tuned ammo, I'm pretty happy. So there's all that. I'll let you guys know how the actual bench rest match goes. And boy, I got in just in time. It's starting to come down here. So you guys have a good one. We will talk later.